Good evening and welcome to the Guilderland Central School District's Board of Education meeting. Today is April 8th. Can everyone please silence their cell phones and stand for the pledge? We'll look at that flag over there. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and we will begin today's meeting with the student proposal, the high school future city team proposal. Middle school.
Ready? Good evening, Board of Education members. My name is Anika, and I'm joined today by my teammates Andrew Smith, Levi Haralchek, Darshna Saravana Kumar, and Justin Gian. We're here today to present the potential of a high school future city team. We're guided by our advisors, Miss Behrens and Miss Heimler, and as well as our mentor, Miss Smith, who's a chemical engineer at Plug Power, with much more knowledge from Miss Werner, one of our middle school advisors. I would like to thank Mr. Piscatelli and Mr. Parker for all the time they put into making this proposal possible. The Future City competition encourages middle school and high school students to design cities 100 years in the future to make them and then compete against other teams. The Future City requirements consist of a 3D model, 2,000-word essay, project plan, a presentation, as well as a Q&A. If we perform well at nationals, there's also an opportunity to earn personal scholarships, which will support our education moving forward.
Our team currently has access to experienced mentors who will guide and teach us throughout the process. Additionally, we bring valuable experience in the Future City competition and possess the necessary skills to succeed. We have reliable transportation to travel from the high school to the middle school for meetings. We will also require access to computers and permission to use the Ribbit software on them. Lastly, we kindly ask your permission to represent the school and our community in this competition.
The Future City program has been an incredible learning experience for me. Without the Future City program, I wouldn't have been able to learn as in depth on topics like climate change, green energy, and city zoning. Additionally, the Future City program offers hands-on STEM learning for all the kids who participate in it. I got to learn about things like woodworking, gear ratios, and wiring for simple circuitry, which all have real-life applications, and I learned at Future City. If we can make a high school Future City team, more kids will get to share this amazing experience and participate in Future City. In previous years, our Future City team has had a lot of success both at the regional and national level, winning regional competitions 3 times and securing first and second place at nationals. If we have a high school Future City team, we'll be able to represent the Guilderland School District at these regional and national competitions further.
Having grown up in a household that endorses engineering, I've been attending these competitions every year with my mom, Jen Smith, who's one of the founders of the competition in the Albany area, alongside my grandfather Howard, who has an award named after him. Future City is truly a memorable experience in our hearts.
Our team is confident this year thanks to the valuable experience we've gained from our past 3 victories in the local regional competitions, where we competed against many schools. These successes, along with receiving multiple special awards, has led us to a major victory at Nationals in 2024 and a close second-place finish at Nationals in 2025. The prize money we have earned has provided crucial funding for our middle school STEM programs, and our trip to NASA Space Camp in Alabama offered us invaluable insights into the STEM fields and its engineers. Additionally, our accomplishments have garnered recognition from prominent media outlets like the Times-Union and the Altamont Enterprise. Our success has also been acknowledged by several government officials, including Congressman Paul Tonko. We are confident that in this next year, we will bring many achievements, and we are excited to represent our school and community once again.
This program offers high school students valuable engineering and STEM skills, preparing them for future job opportunities. It focuses on teamwork, collaboration, CAD design, and project management through a fully digital project with a focus on meeting competition deadlines. Additionally, participants have the chance to win scholarships as part of the prize pool. Finally, engineering skills, such as the engineering design process, are developed in this club, encouraging critical thinking and problem-solving skills. And now, the middle school principal, Mr. Laster, will share a couple of words about the Future City program.
Nice job. Well done. So first of all, could you please join me in congratulating this cohort of our 8th graders? Over the last 2 years, they've absolutely represented FMS tremendously through their Future Cities experience, and I look forward to supporting them as they go into the high school. So the Future Cities program is an engineering program that recently has decided to charter a high school branch, which is why our students who are moving up to the high school are interested in continuing their work in that endeavor. As a proud dad of a student who actually participated in the Future Cities program, who is now at Manhattan College studying engineering, I know the benefits of this experience. So I wholeheartedly endorse their advancement into the high school, and hopefully we can have a club that continues their excellence in this endeavor. And I look forward to seeing what they will do at our high school through Future Cities. So thank you. Nice job, everybody.
Thank you. Is it appropriate to ask some questions? Okay, does anyone have a question?
How,
What are we doing? Gloria.
how many years have each of you participated?
All of us have participated for 3 years, so our whole middle school experience.
And I have a question. So you're asking to form a second club, and there will still be a Future Cities in the middle school, or are you just asking to transition the middle school one to high school?
There will still be a middle school Future Cities. We're just forming a new club at the high school.
Okay. Cool. Any other questions? So Marie, what would be the next steps for this wonderful group?
A number of steps. There is an application form. I think you know about that. So that application form gets filled out and it comes to this body, and we would review it and the board would vote on it. The challenge that you have in getting that put together is you need to find an adult who will serve as your advisor at the high school. And I don't know what kind of progress you've made on that so far, but that's an important point. You'll need someone to be willing to take on the exciting work at the high school.
Who would be a good contact for our students? Would it be Mr. Piscatelli?
I think Mr.
Sounds like
Piscatelli
it.
has already spoken with them, so can continue that conversation.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Best
Great
of luck.
job.
Great job. Nice.
And Parth?
For your time. My name is Parth Surecha, and I'm one of the student body representatives to the Board of Education. It's such an honor to be here tonight. Levin wasn't able to make it in today, so it'll just be me reporting. To start off, Guilderland hosted the ACT exam this past Saturday morning, and it lasted around 3 to 4 hours. The ACT exam is a very large exam that students can use their scores for in order to apply to colleges all throughout the nation. My thoughts and prayers are with all the students who are eagerly awaiting their scores, which should come out in the next week or so. Next up, this Friday will be a very, very eventful day with multiple things happening. The first one being that the marking period closes. It's hard to think that we're already through the third quarter, but students should be looking out for any assignments that they need to turn in to their teachers and communicating with their teachers in case they think that there's something wrong in the grade book. This Friday will also mark the last day before April break, and with that comes the cultural fair. I mentioned the cultural fair to you guys a couple times before, so I won't take up too much of your time with it now, but it's essentially a time where students set up booths around the West Gymnasium that represent different countries and cultures all throughout the world. The cultural fair will be going on all throughout the day, and we will see many different performances, such as an Indian dance performance and a Chinese dragon dance performance, and I'm very excited to see everything that happens that day. Finally, we are a couple weeks into our spring sports season, even though it doesn't feel like it outside right now. The spring sports season will last about a month or two, to my knowledge, and it includes things such as boys tennis, baseball, softball, and the brand new girls flag football team. So thank you so much, and go Dutch. That's all from me today. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and we'll move on to public comment number one. We'll start with Mrs. Depew.
Good evening. Hello, is this on? I'm good. All right. I can't see without my glasses because I've gotten to that age. I know you all missed me all year, so I'm back. But I wanted to start off with the first thing we talked about this year, which was this week during my son's IEP, which was that he had a wonderful year, or is having a wonderful year. So thank you to all of you who had anything to do with hiring the wonderful new teacher that you brought on. So, and all the other teachers and the staff and the aides. You did a lot of work this last summer, and I know you listened last year and you put in a lot of time and effort to make some well-needed changes. So thank you. So I wanted to say we have amazing, talented, and dedicated special education teachers and staff who put in so much extra on. And I think that the district, again, continues to need to maybe consider this in what we're putting on them. So for those of you who don't know, you started last year at the end of this. You said we need 3 teachers in the special education program for our CPSC kids in the high school. The 3rd teacher quit on the 2nd day of school, which was a big disruption for our kids who last year went through several teachers, I think 3, maybe 4 by the time the school year was over. The teacher that stayed, again, wonderful. But we put a lot on them. They have a lot of extra on them, and I know all of our teachers do, but I say, like, just for my son to go to the school dance, that teacher has to coordinate and schedule and do. Just for him to participate in a school sport, that teacher has to do and schedule and support and contact. There's a lot of extra administrative burden because our kids can't communicate by speaking to us. We get a different story at home, right? We have kids who have limited language, verbal and written. So those teachers' notes are imperative and important to keep our kids safe. So I would ask that now, knowing that we are not getting a 3rd teacher again next year, rightfully so at some level when you have to make those things, middle school needs another teacher. I get it. But is there something you can do with this district to support these teachers? Because I don't want to lose another one. It has been such a wonderful year, and I don't want to lose anybody else because we just keep putting on and putting on and putting on with those extra things that they have to do. So my one is I'm still disappointed with the lack of support that I think these teachers and these teams might be able to garnish from some administrative support in those extra things that they have to do that somebody might be able to help in an administrative capacity. 2, I wanted to also say I am thrilled if this is actually going to happen that you're going to remove these personal electronic devices from the school. I had a discussion with Mr. Piscatelli just before the session. I tried to bring it up during my son's IEP, to which I was told we're not going to discuss these things. But I'm going to bring it up here because I was told the administration is the place to talk about it. My son, who's in a special education self-contained classroom, has been exposed to inappropriate materials on a different student's personal electronic device during times in which there may not have been enough staff, resources, and teachers to make sure that appropriate information was properly being passed around on those personal electronic devices. Those videos shared things that my son should not be exposed to. Acts of violence with cartoon characters. It should not be happening. I talked to Mr. Piscatelli about it. The teachers are on it. The staff is on it. But you can't be everywhere all the time. So thank you for getting those out of our schools or out of their hands during those instructional times. It is not okay. And the 3rd thing was asked to be brought up by some other parents, and they're not here tonight, so I'll just bring it up. And people. Oh, am I at 3 minutes?
You're at the 3 minutes, but go ahead.
This was from someone else, so just peek it in there. I don't know if everybody's aware that our kids during the Regents Weeks they don't have school. So our special education children are not provided education for 8 days in a calendar year at the end of the school year. So they only get 172. And over 4 years, that's a month and a half of educational instruction for our children. They're not offered to go to those Regents exams. They're not offered an opportunity. They're not studying. School's just over that day. So I just ask, if you don't know this, Colony School Districts, I think it's North Colony, the parents came and spoke to the board and said, our kids could really use these 8 more days. They get pulled for so many things. Is there a way that they could have at least some days of school? And they agreed. And those kids are getting school here in our local area, and our kids continue to not get education for those 8 days. So I just ask you to consider that as well, that there's times that our kids they're not getting 180 days. They're just done with school. So I thank you for your time and your considerations, and nice to see you all again.
Thank you. Okay, I'll move on to public comment number 1 online. Dear Board of Education members, I'm writing to you today as a parent of a current kindergarten student and also a former first grade teacher for 8 years. I am concerned with the cutbacks for first grade teacher assistants in the budget. I know how challenging it can be to meet all the needs and expectations in first grade. Teaching assistants can help in small group instruction so each child is met at their level. First grade is the crucial year to set a good foundation in reading and writing, which can greatly impact the student in future grades. I urge you to please keep the teaching assistants in first grade for next year. Thank you for taking this into consideration. Sincerely, Rachel McCormick. Public comment number 2. Dear Board of Education, I am a parent of a third grader at AES, Altamont Elementary School, and I am opposed to the district's decision to reduce our third grade class sections from 3 to 2. This change will negatively impact my child's education and social acumen. I consider class size to be a top priority and prefer not to think of the negative outcomes that would result from a 50% larger class size. I urge you to reconsider these decisions and prioritize our students' needs. AES third grade parents are mobilizing around this issue. Our children's academic experience depends on your actions. Do not let them down. Sincerely, Jason Roberts. Dear members of the Board of Education, I am the parent of a third grader at AES, and I strongly oppose the district's decision to reduce the number of third grade class sections from 3 to 2. Research consistently shows that smaller class sizes enhance learning, especially for younger students, and this change will negatively affect my child's education. Last year's budget priority survey clearly indicated that class size was the top priority for our community, parents, teachers, and students alike. Yet, the district has disregarded this input. I urge you to reconsider these decisions and focus on the needs of our students. AES third grade parents are rallying around this issue, and our children's academic futures depend on your response. Please do not let them down. I understand that the budget decisions are complex, but I believe that maintaining 3 sections for the current third grade and first grade classes would have a significant positive impact on our students. The results from last year's survey are clear. Smaller class sizes are a priority. I respectfully ask that you prioritize this need and take the necessary steps to ensure these sections for the 25-26 school year. Doing so will show our community that we are committed to providing the best education for every student. Also wanted to take this opportunity and thank you for restoring our AES librarian's position for 4 days a week. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to your thoughtful response. Sincerely, the Coleman family. The next one. I read with interest that TAs would be returned but assigned based on need. I wonder what that means practically speaking. Would a main determinant be special ed accommodations, which the district has to provide legally? Maybe it was mentioned and not covered in the enterprise summary. It would be good to know the decision playing field for TA assignments by need. Or will it be determined by how many TAs are hired and available for assignment? I gather the district may be having trouble filling those positions. Could it be related to the likelihood that Guilderland is on the lower end of the pay scale for TAs and subs despite its gigantic budget? Comparing Guilderland's budget per pupil with Bethlehem's expenditures per pupil, for example, may suggest some fine-tuning at this point, especially related to the TA's expenditures, so that we have a better chance to be scored at least equally to Bethlehem among the local council's ratings and have a full roster of TAs this coming school year to be assigned equally. Thank you, Jim Gagin, Altamont. Just real quick, does Bethlehem have TAs?
They have some, but they do not have TAs assigned to every kindergarten classroom and every first grade classroom as we do.
Okay, I was to say I thought we had more. Okay, thank you. Oh, then it's a duplicate?
Yeah, it's put in there twice, I think. by
Oh,
mistake.
yep, no problem. So I'll skip that one because we already read it. Woof, okay, and I'm going to make up some time here by, here's a long one. Let me try to make the font bigger. Please bear with me. And my 46-year-old eyes. Okay, that's much better. Dear school board members, I'm writing to once again express my deep concern and that of many other parents regarding the decision to reduce the number of fourth grade sections at AES next year. With a $127 million budget, it's extremely frustrating that you are cutting directly from the classroom, the very heart of our children's education. As both a parent and a taxpayer, I'm concerned by how top-heavy the district has become. I want to reiterate some things I said at the March 25th Board of Ed meeting. I taught 8th grade for many years in New York State Inner City Middle School. We only had building principals and teachers who received a department chair stipend. Anything more than that seems like a luxury we cannot afford. The research is clear. Smaller class sizes improve academic outcomes and support students' social and emotional well-being. The community has repeatedly asked for small class sizes to be a budget priority. You heard this loud and clear in last year's budget survey. So why isn't that reflected in this year's decision? Within our inclusion model, we are mainstreaming more students with significant learning and behavioral needs. Teachers are being asked to support a broader range of learners while shouldering ever increasing responsibilities. We cannot cram 25 students into a classroom with such diverse demands and expect meaningful, high-quality learning to occur. Under the current plan, there would be an average of 24.5 students per fourth grade classroom, a number I hope was corrected on the district spreadsheet. This is not just a statistic, this is my son's daily reality. He and every student in his grade deserves the individualized attention and supportive environment that only smaller class sizes can provide. Reducing sections now is short-sighted and fundamentally undermines the district's responsibility to put students first. Smaller class sizes help to mitigate existing inequities at AES by giving teachers more bandwidth to support each child. We need to see more transparent, research-based justification for increasing class sizes at AES. I am entrusting you with my son's education. He spends 6 hours each day at AES. I want to feel confident that this time is being spent in an environment that prioritizes his growth, well-being, and potential. Again, if you can't allocate funds for a third grade section within the budget, please allot one of the already budgeted for unassigned FTE positions to the fourth grade next year at AES. Thank you for serving the community. Sincerely, Amanda Steiger. Okay, and so now we'll move on to our consent items. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes and the CPSC recommendations and the personnel agenda? Tara, second Nina. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Passes 8-0, right? Is that how many of us are? 8-0?
And before we move on, in that quick vote, we now have our next principal of Pine Bush Elementary School, Katie Stalker, is here with us this morning. So Katie, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here tonight, Katie.
Thank you. Okay, Glenda.
Also on the personnel agenda is an individual sitting at this table who is also retiring. Our longtime, very talented, ever patient, very gifted board clerk, Linda Livingston, will be retiring at the end of May, right after the successful budget vote. Like Linda, thank you so much for everything you do.
Hey, Rachel?
Good evening. I have some items to share this evening. First, we have several art exhibits and receptions. We kicked off the season today, actually this afternoon, with the elementary art exhibition at the Guilderland Public Library. The opening reception was this afternoon, but the display will be up for the next several weeks. So if you get a chance, please stop in and see that. The FMS art exhibition, also at the Guilderland Public Library, will kick off with its reception on Tuesday, May 13th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. And the Guilderland High School art exhibition reception, it will be on Wednesday, May 7th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. We also have some additional student recognition from our art department. We had 3 art students receive awards for their artwork on March 20th, 2025 at the 26th Annual High School Regional Reception at the Albany Center Gallery for the 26th Annual High School Regional Juried Art Show. Those students were Emmeline Friedman, who was recognized for the President's Award, and Riley Better and Liam Hanslick for the WMHT AHA Award. This year, 25 school districts submitted an impressive total of 526 pieces. The selection process was conducted by jurors Robert Cooper, a photographer and journalist, Tomasa Dwyer Nielsen, an artist and educator, and Tony Iadiccio, executive director of the Albany Center Gallery. The judges were truly impressed by the incredible creativity and talent displayed by high school students across the region and ultimately selected 138 outstanding works for the exhibition. We also have some students to recognize from Farnsworth Middle School, students who participated in the Capital Region History Day contest. On March 15th, 2025, 12 Farnsworth Middle School students in the Historical Research and Argumentation Enrichment class entered their projects and competed in the Capital Region History Day contest. This is the regional competition for National History Day, and all 12 students placed in the competition with their projects, and 11 students are moving on to the state competition at SUNY Oneonta in April. The following students are those competing at Oneonta in April. Annika Bupati with first place with individual documentary, work of play, Rights to a Childhood. Arav Agarwal, second place individual documentary for Breaking Barriers, the Americans with Disabilities Act and its Legacy. Abel Shiju and Amy Shiju, first place group documentary, America is No Longer a Melting Pot, the 3 Early Immigration Acts. Darshana Saravanakumar, first place individual website, It's Your War, How the WAAC Paved the Way for Women's Equality. Isaac Chan, Justin Jian, and Sophie Jian, first place group website, The Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen Rights and the Responsibilities of the French. Roger Sheng and Katie Sheng, second place group website, The Rights and Responsibilities of the Storming of Bastille. And Mashka Prasad Pathipati, first place, paper, End of the Patroon System, the revolt carried out by the disguised. And then honorable mention, Ben Zhu, third place, individual website, Serving and Destroying the Age of McCarthyism. And finally, I want to recognize our high school business department and counseling department for the Career and Trades Fair that was put on at GHS on March 28th. There were over 100 businesses and professionals from all 14 career clusters present. Students attended throughout the day and were able to talk to representatives from those different businesses. They played career bingo, filled out some information cards, and were able to win some prizes from filling out their bingo cards. And thank you to Marie for the pictures that are posted on the agenda. So it was a great day, and hopefully some of you got a chance to walk around because it was a truly outstanding site.
I was not able to attend, but both of my children did, and they actually came home and reiterated a lot of information. They particularly enjoyed the emergency preparedness quiz at the Department of Homeland Security. And some of them, my youngest daughter came home with business cards for me to look for other employment opportunities, which I thought was funny. Yeah, I was like, okay. Very informative. Marie.
All right. This is everyone's favorite item in the spring, and that is to talk about our contingent holiday on May 23rd, 2025. So if, and this statement always begins with if the school district does not experience more than one emergency closing situation prior to Memorial Weekend, all of our schools will be closed on Friday, May 23rd, 2025, due to unused snow or emergency days allocated as part of this year's school calendar. This was listed on the calendar as a contingent holiday, and all district and school offices will be closed on that day. And then Monday, May 26, 2025 is also a school recess day district-wide in observance of the Memorial holiday. So I know we had snow flurries in the air today. We'll hope that's not an omen of what will come in the next few weeks. So everyone, I'm sure, will be hopeful. My second item, I just want to do a shout out for the program that was held at Proctor's. It's a regional-wide program called Elevating Student Voices. This is a program that has been put together by Capital Region BOCES to bring together teams of students from across our region to talk about issues of equity, inclusion, celebrating diversity, and two of Guilderland. We had a huge team who went to begin with, but we had two individuals from Guilderland who served in the closing panel. Our Director of DEI, Derek Westbrook, and Senior Chloe Tyson were two of the five people. And they were both very much listened to, heads turned when they were sharing the experiences of the things that we do here in Guilderland to try to celebrate diversity and move ever closer to being equitable and inclusive. Also on the panel was the head of DEI from the State Education Department and students from some other of our neighboring school districts. So just a job well done and some nice recognition for Guilderland. So that was awesome. And I know Parth already spoke about our cultural fair, but that event is this Friday. I would like to invite board members, if you have the opportunity to come. It is very much worthwhile to visit the West Gym, see the array of cultural displays that are around the room, view some of the amazing performances of our students, and taste a wide variety of foods. It is truly a very special day, so I'm hoping that you can come. And I'm going to embarrass my child here, which I don't often do. I know he's not watching, but he said to me on Monday, Friday is my favorite day of the entire school year. And I said, well, why is that? He goes, Mom, it's the cultural fair. Don't you know that? And I'm thinking, he's thinking it's a day to spend a lot of time not in class. And he surprised me once again when he said, no, at the end of that school day, you can really feel like this is a community in this building. And that was unsolicited. So I really encourage you to come if you can and enjoy the great work of the team, the students who put it together and their advisors and Mr. Piscatelli and his team. There's a lot that goes into it. So please join us. And last but not least, a communication was recently sent out. We're asking for letters of interest from individuals who would like to serve on our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee for the next school year. We are seeking 2 students to fill the vacancies of graduating seniors, 2 parents, 1 staff member, and 2 community members to fill the 7 openings. If anyone is interested in serving on the committee, please send a letter of interest to me. The address is there. You can send it to superintendent@guilderlandschools.net by Friday, April 11th, 2025. The letter should include a statement of the reason or reasons why you'd like to serve and highlight some of your experiences that demonstrate why you would be a strong contributor to this work. Your letter should also indicate your area of interest in serving on one of the committee's 4 subcommittees: student voice, research, community engagement, and communication. So the deadline is Friday, and we are getting some letters in. So we'll be looking forward to giving the board an opportunity to read the letters and make some selections for next year. And those are all my items.
Great, thank you. Board President information. So the Capital Region's BOCES budget and board election vote will be on April 23rd, which is Wednesday. And there are 4 seats up for election. This is the date of our special board meeting that takes place at 8 in the morning, and it is in person. One of us may have thought it was virtual one year, so that's why I emphasize that. Upcoming Board of Education election is May 20th, 2025. Petitions are available through the district clerk for any district resident who might be considering running for the Board of Education. 47 signatures of eligible district voters are required based on 2% of the voting in last year's election. There are 3 3-year terms on the board that will begin July 1st, 2025, and 1 2-year term that will begin May 21st, 2025. In order to be eligible to run for the Board of Education, nominating petitions with 47 or more signatures from qualified voters in the district must be submitted to the district clerk on or before Monday, April 21st, 2025 by 5 p.m. Anyone who has questions about the duties and responsibilities of a board member may contact the superintendent, me, or any current member of the Board of Ed. A candidate must be able to read and write, be at least 18 years of age, a qualified voter, and a district resident for at least 1 year prior to the date of the vote on Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. Further qualifications and information is in the packet available through the district clerk, which is Linda. Is this the same? Okay. This is about voter registration. So the public vote on the school budget. Oh, actually, I do want to go back to the Board of Ed election. So nobody has asked me any questions in the community about running. So I just want to put that out there again. I'm here for you. I am happy to answer questions. You know, this is a volunteer position, but it is super important work, and we do need you. I'm happy to answer questions. And additionally, I know that some of us would be happy to help you get the signatures if you're feeling intimidated about that, because I do recall that I felt intimidated. 47 is actually a reasonable number, and I'm happy to help. So shoot me an email if you have questions or you need assistance. Okay, so in terms of the election, the public vote on the school budget and Board of Education will be held on Tuesday, May 20th, the same day. Voter registration is required in the Guilderland Central School District. To vote, you must be 18 years old, a U.S. citizen, and a resident of the Guilderland Central School District for at least 30 days prior to the vote. If you are not registered with the school district or the Albany County Board of Elections, you must do so prior to the vote. You may register with the Albany County Board of Elections or through the Department of Motor Vehicles, and there's a link here on the agenda. The district has established 3 registration dates for residents to vote at the May 20th, 25 budget vote and election. You may register anytime between 8:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. at one of the elementary schools, or from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the district office on the following dates: May 7th, which is a Wednesday, Thursday, May 8th, and Monday, May 12th. If you are not sure at which elementary school to vote, please refer to our webpage link, Budget and Taxes, and use the link that drops down labeled voter information. You can see if you're registered and where you vote for school elections. Does anybody get anything? Okay. Andrew.
Thank you. My first item is the creation of a scholarship. This would be the Corey B. Shields Scholarship, which would be awarded to a student who is pursuing a career in law enforcement or military service. The scholarship, it would be in the honor of Corey, who was a 2001 Guilderland High School graduate, a proud veteran of the U.S. Air Force, and served as an officer for the City of Schenectady Police Department.
Great. Motion to approve. We'll go with Meredith, second Gloria. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Passes 8-0.
Thank you. My next item is a service agreement with Solient Service for a contracted school psychologist.
Motion to approve the service agreement. Kelly, second Rebecca. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0.
Thank you. My next item are 2 agreements for health and welfare services for children residing in school districts that attend a private school within another district.
Okay, motion to approve the contract. Kim, second Tara. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0.
Thank you. My next item is a resolution authorizing the destruction of ballots from the 2024 school district budget vote and elections.
Okay, motion to approve. Nina, second Meredith. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0.
Thank you. My next item is a continuation of what we discussed at the last board meeting. These are 2 items, actually, the low-income senior property tax exemption and the disability property tax exemption. At the last meeting, the board sent these back to the Business Practices Committee for discussion. I'll briefly summarize that, and then during discussion, anyone else can share additional thoughts. Again, this relates to the change in how income is calculated from how it was previously calculated. Specifically, the resolution that was passed in January included IRAs or other annuities in the income calculation, and those were not included last year, which means that there are residents who received these exemptions who had no changes in their actual income but would not receive the exemption this year because of how the calculation was changed. The committee discussed both the rationale for including it and the impact, potentially unintentional impact on residents of not including it, or moving from not including it to including it, and recommends to the board adopting the updated resolution. That would be retroactive to January, so the town would be able to review applications that it had previously denied for this coming year, and would not need people to reapply.
Motion to approve. Meredith, second Gloria. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Okay. All those opposed? Okay. Oh, I raised my hand twice. My bad. 7-1.
Thank you. Then the next item would be the disability property tax exemption, which is the same exemption only for low-income people with disabilities.
Okay. Motion Gloria, second Kelly. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? All those opposed? 7-1.
Thank you. My final item are shared services agreements with the town of Guilderland for summer camp services.
Okay, motion to approve the agreement. Kelly, second Rebecca. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0. All right. Marie.
Okay, the first item for action under superintendent action is the adoption of the 2025-2026 budget. Be it resolved that the Board of Education adopt a proposed budget in the amount of $127,547,392 for the school year 2025-2026, and submit same to the voters of the district and to be voted upon at the annual district vote and election on May 20th, 2025. So we bring this resolution forward today. It represents no changes since the last time we were together, and we heard from Andrew some of the concerns we have around fund balance, and we added back approximately 70% of the teaching assistants and looked at some other ways to close the gap between expenditures and revenues. At this point, we don't have any other recommended adjustments to make, so I'm happy to take any questions or comments or thoughts at this point.
I have a question.
Sure.
What would be the disadvantage to not adopting the budget tonight and waiting to see what the governor's budget is?
So, two things. One is the latest we could adopt a budget and have barely enough time to get our communications done would be the Monday after April break, April 21st. So we would need to schedule a special meeting for that evening, which would, I mean, that's the last day that we could do that and hope to get all of our materials out. So that would presume that there actually is a budget passed by that time, which is impossible for us to know, and which may or may not, but likely not, have any additional revenue for us. So, the disadvantage is just really, it really tightens our communication window without a guaranteed that we'll get anything additional from it. Sure.
Any other questions? Kelly, you look like
Oh, no, I'm just,
a piñata about to burst. No? Other questions? Okay.
no, of course I want to push it, but I don't think it's worthwhile.
Okay. Hey, is this a roll call?
We need a motion.
Okay, motion. I forgot where I was, so. Gloria, second Kelly. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0, I think. Okay.
Thank you very much for that. I'll just acknowledge that this was one of our more challenging budget development seasons. It took us a long time to get to this place, and I just want to thank everyone who played a part and to the board for your patience and your understanding as we found our way to this place. So thank you for that. The related item on tonight's agenda is the property tax report card. We need to submit this to the State Education Department to indicate our adherence to the property tax report card rules. We are under the tax cap with what is proposed, and the resolution is resolved that the Board of Education approve the 2025-26 property tax report card for submission to the New York State Education Department based on the adopted budget.
Okay, motion to approve the tax report card. Rebecca, second Kim. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0.
Okay, my next item actually is an outgrowth of our work on the budget. This is a memorandum of agreement to execute agreement between the Guilderland Support Staff Association and the Guilderland Central School District. This is related to our elimination of the maintenance supervisor position at FMS and the creation of a couple stipends in order to compensate those who are picking up that work. It saved us a significant amount of money, which helped us restore some of the things that we were concerned about.
Okay, motion to execute the memorandum of agreements. Kelly, second Gloria. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0.
Letter D, before the board tonight is the Handbook of Benefits and Related Procedures for Non-Unit Employees. This is a handbook that defines the benefits for those who are not part of a bargaining unit, and it was in need of updating based on a recent hire for a position that we needed that fell within this group.
Okay, motion to approve the handbook. Kim, second Tara. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0.
And last is a resolution for legal services. Be it resolved that the board hereby authorizes the law firm of Shaw, Pearlson, and May, and Lambert to provide a defense on behalf of the district in connection with an appeal in the matter before you regarding a denial of admission on the basis of residency. And be it further resolved that such services shall be provided at the billing rate of $220 per hour.
Motion to authorize the resolution for legal services. Anina, second Meredith. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? 8-0. Oh, board committee reports. Audit.
We haven't met since the last meeting, and we don't have anything scheduled.
Okay. Business practices.
Andrew pretty much covered what we talked about.
The fruits of your labor. Got it. Communications committee. Katie's not here, so
We need to schedule the next meeting. We have a couple things on our agenda, including finalizing a revised Board of Education award and fine-tuning our communications plan around the budget and the capital project.
okay. DEI. You were there.
I was there.
Let's put you on the spot or anything.
That's all right. So last DEI committee meeting, we actually spent almost the entire meeting talking about the cultural fair and how the high school is working to reframe the cultural fair in some ways to make sure we're focused very much on its purpose, which is around the celebration of different cultures. And also looking at increasing some the Peace Builder actions, which is a kind of a collaborative effort between our Model UN Club, who will be staffing a table along with our DEI team, and they will be working with volunteer students and some adults to make sure that everyone who comes to the cultural fair is able to engage with it in a productive and meaningful way. So that's what we spent most of the time on our call, talking about what that would look like. And we will see the fruits of those labors on Friday.
Great. Policy.
We haven't met, but we do have a meeting on April 15th.
Great. Public comment number 2. Okay. Board issues, ideas, and sharing.
I just wanted to say April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and in New York State, over 24,000 children were seen in child advocacy centers in 2024, which is a tremendous amount of children, as I think we can all agree. Of mandated reporters, educators are the highest group of mandated reporters. They report more child abuse than law enforcement professionals, than medical professionals. So I just want to thank our educators and our staff for identifying child abuse.
Thank you. Kelly?
So I went to the Guilderland, or the elementary school art exhibit today that Rachel spoke about. And I went early because I know it's really busy. I'm so glad I did because it was just a tremendous amount of people there by the time I left. But it was a really great event, and the art is so fantastic at Guilderland Public Library to go check it out. The kids are really talented. Thanks.
I did not get there early, and there were literally no parking spots.
I was looking for you. I'm like, God, no, get here early, but
I didn't get there till
Busy.
3:45, and literally every parking lot at GPL, every spot was taken. I had to get creative and make a spot.
Don't tell us how.
she knows the secrets.
Any other comments, board ideas, sharing? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn, please? Rebecca, second. Kim? All those in favor, 8? Okay, 8-0. Thank you. Thanks.